Namaste everyone, welcome to our Sookshma Shakti for Women Empowerment series. Hope you all are enjoying our programs so far. Today's topic is very critical topic. It's going to be parenting. Parenting is the most critical aspect of our lives. As now, it comes with many feelings and experiences that of love, contentment, bliss, fear, insecurity, and a lot of worry. When we are set to become parents, we don't tend to think about what is coming up from around the corner. We are almost blinded about how the rest of our lives are going to be as a parent. It's a huge shift that many of us are not taught or trained about and comes as a huge surprise. It can be a roller coaster ride for sure, and we're always chasing a moving target for a lifetime. It doesn't end when the 9 months of pregnancy is over. It doesn't end when they can do their stuff on their own. It doesn't end when they are 16, nor it doesn't end when they leave the nest to move on to build their life. It's a journey of lifetime until our last breath, with many flavors and shades. Let's today dive into this million-dollar question, how to be a better parent. Let's start with Sangeetha, who has been a young mother, has a lot to share about her realizations as a parent. Sangeetha?
Sure, Meena. I will share my experiences. From my experience, understood that physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual aspects are very important even before starts planning for kids. First of all, physical aspects, which is parent physical health. We need to healthy as parents to give birth to healthy kids. This is strong foundation for the kids' healthy future. Lack of healthy lifestyle leads to infertility. Even if we consume proper diet and exercises like asanas, definitely help to avoid these problems. During the pregnancy, it is important have good nutrition both for mother and baby. Have the right knowledge about which type of food to eat and the quantity, and exercises like walking will definitely help having healthy pregnancy, which will avoid sugar, hypertension, and help in having normal birth instead of C-section, and it helps kids to have food eating habits. So as mental and emotional aspects, mental illness and emotional disturbances are causing even more issues these days in parenting, like autism, behavior problems in the kids. Healthy mental and emotional aspects of both parents will reduce anxiety, stress. Its lifestyle starts in the right womb, and they are receiving everything even inside the womb. So the parents' mental and emotional aspects has major impact on kids' attitude. So, for example, the story of Abhimanyu from Mahabharata, Krishna explained about Padma Vyuha. Abhimanyu learned it during the womb. His fight and the bravery are examples how parents should nurture attitude right from the womb. So it is important that we are very careful with our words, emotions, thoughts, and actions, as each of these impact the infants psychologically right in the womb of the mother. So it is important to listen to good music, calming and relaxing music, prayers, meditation, and listening to the chantings and scriptures with the higher vibrations of energy. When we read scriptures and stories of Ramayana and Mahabharata, there will be very positive stimulation in the mental and emotional energy with which help in building the character of baby right from the womb. So as spiritual aspects, meditation and spiritual thinking will help in handling the pregnancy, which is any physical problems like back pain, leg pain, all of the pregnancy related systems would be handled clearly, thinking this with the less anxiety and stress. It will definitely help both baby and mother to have safe delivery and to develop the character of the child. So we have another story of Prahalada. Prahalada listened to Narada Muni teachings on Hari Bhakti. Right in the womb, his father was like Asura, but he stood for Dharma very strong, faith on the God, and overcome obstacle caused by his father. This is also a great example of character building. So, like our souls enters the body in the mother's womb, the souls choose the parent. Sometimes we get upset about our parents. We have no reason to do that because we make a choice of parent. Kids come into this world with their own karma. They have their own baggage. We can't override our karmas on them. They are here to work out their baggage. And the best thing we can do is to assist them in their journey. We need to understand that we are all going through an evolution. Everyone is trying to work towards the self-realizations in one way or any other way. So it is also the responsibility of a parent to subtle see the strengths and weakness of the child, help them build on their strengths and slowly try to wean them away from the weakness. There are children who are child prodigies who come with a phenomenal talent from the impression of their previous births. So, as a parent, it is essential that we recognize their talent and provide them the correct platform to nurture and blossom their unique talent and skill. If you look at the some child prodigies like Mandolin Srinivas in music, who learned Carnatic music and mandolin on his own, and Sachin Tendulkar, who is a world-class batsman, and A.R. Rahman is creating music. Like our Sunitama also was born with a deep divine voice and pure healing vibrations, which was recognized by her father very early on. So Sunitama used to get prizes and accolades for singing from when she was a little child. Her father recognized that she's different and unique with deep interest in spirituality and divine words, noble deeds, and pure love from her childhood. So we see so many examples where parents can play a very important role in recognizing the unique skills or early on and helping kids pursuing their purpose. Mother womb is another cosmic creation, I believe. Creation is perfectly good unless human intervention with his own involvement. Similarly, in my opinion, pregnancy and parenting would be perfect creation of the God unless we as parents mix it and disturb it with our hypothetical views and lifestyle. And having kids, from my experiences, having back to back with less gap kids, I have to balance their emotional and situations by keeping our mental and emotional posture balance. To how to mingle with the society and to have exposure to our scriptures and slokas from the early age. Our big task as of now, is to avoid use of cell phones so that they are not addicted to it, to know how to use it future or in a limited way.
Very well said, Sangeeta. Parenting should start, as Sangeeta shared her story about Abhimanyu, parenting should start from the womb of the mother, the thoughts, the positive thoughts, listening to beautiful music, chantings, reading ancient scriptures, all those good qualities, what you want to see in your child needs to be developed from day one. So, how do we do this? Now, let's go to Sudnya to know about her experiences of Sookshma parenting.
Thank you, Meena. That was very well said, Sangeeta. Very insightful. With Sukshma parenting, it is not just verbal, but emotional communication is very important. Less talk and listen more. So important for parents. Imitation is the way kids grow. So what we do, they replicate. As we know that our scriptures, or we have always learned as a childhood, Yada Raja Tatha Praja. So in English, we always say, monkey see, monkey do. That's the way we all have to always think about. identify the triggers in communication. Lot of it has to do with our inner triggers. Reaction does not do anything. Listen, digest, and respond slowly. Give time between communication. Give space. Take space. Silence is powerful sometimes. With Sookshma, we have also learned that consistency of our behavior also plays a major role in parenting. If we cannot be consistent and firm on the values and morals we want from them, you cannot expect them to be sticking to those values. Sukshma parenting is about building that consistency within first. Subtle aspects from very early on. Vibration is the key. Everything is reflection, reaction, and radiation. What we say is not important. How we say, how our expressions are, is very important. The inner vibration that we carry is so critical because kids are still very pure and still in tune, way better than adults with that subtle energy. So they sense that vibration very easily. I used to see that with my child, when my older daughter, Urvi, would see Amma, she used to always blossom like a beautiful flower with pure vibrations. Her face used to glow and be in bliss always, because that is what Sunita is, our Amma, is radiating and which is reflected in people around her. So Amma always says, raise your vibrations, which is such a valuable lesson as you begin your parenting, because we tend to forget that we ourselves are full of vibrations as well. Parenting, in fact, is a spiritual journey. It helps parents evolve to become better human beings and spiritual beings. We need to become a better version of ourselves. Otherwise, there is no salvation for our kids or us. When we resist that, things become difficult. When we align with that, then life flows for everyone. Another important thing is to help them realize their passion and their purpose. Many times we think that they would have gotten all our qualities genetically, but karma is more powerful than genes. They come into the world with their own karma, as Sangeetha said. Our job as parents is to understand that very well and be a subtle guide. For that deeper intuition, it requires for us as parents to develop that intuition and observation, which again brings us back to the fact that we as parents need to work on ourselves. Sookshma is all about working on the self, and it applies even more when it comes to parenting. We need to become the change we want to see around us in our children. There is no other alternative to that. Here I would also like to share with this beautiful Sookshma training that we all have been blessed with because of Amma. In our parenting levels, in our own professions as well, we have been, somehow we end up doing parenting, is what my experience has been as a dance teacher. So when I was learning dance and when I started teaching dance, I've seen teachers and gurus, they work with their disciple even if they move out of their life. As a dance teacher, I work with kids through our stories and rhythms and help them in character building, postures, emotions, and much more. Understanding a student and molding and shaping their inner self and cultivating inner strength is what I have to teach and present. While doing so as a teacher, I have to follow and develop within me what Amma says, initiate infinite potential. So I can be a better teacher who usually becomes their friend and guide in personal life. There's another story, or rather incidents, part of my life rather I want to share. When I was growing up, I used to listen to this Marathi song, as I'm a Marathi. It was a funny song. It's a kid's song. And the song used to go as Ai bhavi mulgi maji, mi aichi bhavi ai, which means Ai as in Marathi is mother. Let my mother become my child because I want to be a mother to my mom. That was the meaning. This particular song, though it is quite goes funny later, what I realized is when, as we grow and our parents get older, we still have to be parenting them as well many times. But most important is how do we have that communication with them? And over here again, Amma guides us that now the conversations with your parents have to be more on a spiritual journey level. And this is what I have understood is once you become a parent to your child, you're a parent to yourself, to your community, and to your parents. You grow and help them grow.
Completely agree to you, Sudnya. Very well said. You know, to be a better parent for ourselves and for the kids, you know, parenting for ourselves and kids is very important, right? What are the approaches? You know, we can only be better with self-discipline, love and compassion. We have to show love and compassion with our children, but because generations have changed, we can be handling them as we have been handling our generation, in this current generation, modern generation. So how we do this? Let's go to Sunita and know the approaches of modern and traditional alternatives of discipline with parenting.
Namaste, everyone. Yes, there are multiple types of ways to discipline children. Timeouts are not very effective with this modern generation. Understanding and acceptance are very important. We can set boundaries for them, but not strict disciplinary actions. All that we can do as parents is to provide them a safety net where they feel that they can come back to us when things go wrong in their life. We need to become their best friends. We need to become open and less judgmental. We can still help them understand what is good and bad, right and wrong, but we should not force them. Instead, take practical examples from life, friends, our families, and the happenings in the world. Going beyond attachment is another very important aspect. Yes, we bring them into this world. We identified with the relationship that they are our son, daughter, and so on. In fact, it is even more for a mother because if we look at it deeply, they are extensions of our body. All the cells in their bodies are created from mothers' bodies. So mothers have deeper attachment to them because they feel them part of their life inside out. But truly, we need to see them as individuals first and keep the mother's attachment to the side, especially as they are getting into teenage and when they are start to become more independent. It is very important that we respect their independence. I'm not saying that we should not show motherly and fatherly love, but strong identification with attachment can lead to a lot of issues. It can become suffocating, and we feel that they should listen to us and do the things the way we want. Also, being a different culture than when we raised poses another layer of challenging. Our food habits, culture, tradition, and clothing all are different here compared to how it was back home. So that adds another complexity to already existing challenges. So for us parents, we need to develop more patience to see these things through the eyes of the children. They spend 8 hours with the friends at school. So naturally, they are absorbing everything from the school. They connect to their peers better than the adults. So they will quickly imitate whatever happens in the schools. That does not mean that it is bad. We need to understand and accept it. There are times they will make mistakes knowingly or unknowingly. So we need to develop patience and forgiveness. They may make the same mistake hundreds of times. So we need to have immense patience. So for all of this, a lot of focus has to be given on our self-development. As we know, Sookshma is all about self-development and improvement. That's all, Meena.
I completely agree to you, Sunita. To be a better parent, we need to work on ourselves. We need to be a role model. I would like to share my experiences. I have a 17-year-old daughter, the only one. The most important thing in my personal journey, which I've learned, is letting go of ego. Letting go of ego is one of the first steps in becoming a better person. They come with their footprints, so we cannot run our ideas of what we want them to be. Children come through us, but not from us. They are here to fulfill their purposes, not our purposes. We need to stop judging our kids, but try to be an open-minded. For that to happen, there's a lot of work that needs to be done inside us. I had to work on myself so much in the last few years. Everything, there is a roadblock. It would hurt and pain. But from that pain, I realized where I had to change. Once I realized I didn't look back. We tried to rub our fears on them. I did that as well. Whatever childhood fears and traumas that we have, we think that will happen to them as well. But that's not the case at all. They have their uniqueness. We need to support their uniqueness. When I changed, then the relation became blissful. Our children are here to point our weaknesses. If we are not ready to accept that, then it results in a deadlock that we see in many families. The outcome is kids become silent, they won't open up, and they end up finding some others to let their feelings and pain out. We lose them mentally and emotionally. So it is essential that as a parent, we need to get ready for a lot of outright, filterless judgments from our children. In fact, they speak truth from innocence and will not hesitate to point out our weaknesses. They will challenge us every possible way. Are we ready for that challenge? That is parenting. Also, depending on the stages of their life, we need to change as well. As parents, our job is to care, provide food, shelter, and clothing. But sometimes we get too involved with them. I felt that it's where they need a mentor. We can become a mentor as well, but it takes a lot of work for us to switch between parent and mentor roles. It is a very fine line, and it's possible. And I have seen that being done, it's very difficult. So I suggest finding good mentors in your friend circle and families who are wise and can add value to your child. At Peace Tree, we now have young mentoring and empowerment programs, so you can get in touch with us if you need any support there. As you saw, parenting is almost like walking on a thin string, delicate, careful, and cautious, with a lot of concentration and focus. At the same time, involves a lot of inner work on our part. We think we are doing a lot for our kids, but truly they are doing a lot of favor for us to help us evolve. We owe them everything for helping us realize our blind spots and helping us fix ourselves and become better human beings eventually. At Pastry, we are very soon launching parenting modules, offering coaching sessions for to-be parents and who are already parents and need support, and transformational tools to help you in our parenting challenges. We are always there so please drop us an email or visit us at pastry.ca. Thank you very much for joining us. Stay tuned. We'll come up with another exciting topic next week.